What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. I have a special guest with me. My little baby Cooper wants to join the video and be in the video with us. But listen, on another note, baby, Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi are in hot water. If you watched my last video, you know that we broke down the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the most recent episode, and we're in the moment where the girls are grilling Erika. Well, two of the girls are grilling Erika and trying to get down to the bottom. Cooper, stop. Trying to get down to the bottom of this whole ordeal that Tom and Erika have ended up in, right? So if you're watching the show like me, a lot of us as viewers have been like, when are they going to bring up what's going on? When are they going to talk about the whole Erika and Tom and him stealing from widows and orphans and all that? So we have been watching the show in real time, and we've finally gotten to that point. We're finally there, right? A lot of us with the last episode, you saw where Erika was talking about how they had $50 to $80 million cash, and it's all of a sudden it's missing, and she would love to know where it went. Well, we're about to break down where some of that money went, because I have right here on my trusty iPad some information that I think a lot of you would love to hear. But before I get into breaking down what Erika spent that money on, we're going to also poke some holes in another story that she told on the show. Now, do y'all remember when all the girls were together and Erika brought up the car crash that Tom had a few years ago? They played a flashback of Erika talking to Kyle about the car crash that Tom had had. And Erika said, I didn't tell you all the truth about what really happened. And she proceeded to tell the girls that Tom had drove off a cliff and it was really bad. And, Erika's making this story up. In my opinion, it was like, why are you bringing this story up again conveniently? And 3 years ago, when she told the story, she left out the details that she's bringing up now. So that's what made her story questionable. Well, now we've got even more information that pretty much says that story was not true. Now, it's not proven that the story is not true, but according to the Pasadena Police Department, there's no record of any of that happening. Now, let me say this. Now, this is, let's see. So, here, Erika claimed Tom drove off a cliff on the way home to the couple's then Pasadena mansion. What she said next was even more bizarre. She told Kyle, I called you and I said, Tom's had a car accident, which is true, but I just didn't tell you the rest of it. She continued to say, as a result of the crash, his ankle was broken. She also said that Tom was unconscious for 12 hours and claimed that she was the one who found him and he was separated from the car. When he finally called me, I said, where have you been? I was just assuming he was with some other woman, she recalled to her co-stars. Now, when has Erika ever been this candid and open about Tom being with another woman? Conveniently, she's bringing this up. Okay, y'all can't tell me at home that Erika, Tom, and his lawyers didn't have a conversation about what she was going to say on the show. Okay, they thought that using this show was going to be a way to hide all this. It was going to be a way to control the narrative. When in reality, it's really showing that they're lying all along. Okay, stay with me there. So the story raised red flags on social media, on just everywhere. People watching the show didn't really believe that story. Well, I was listening to Reality Life with Kate Casey, which is a podcast Kate Casey hosts. I highly recommend it, by the way. She does a phenomenal job, and she reviews lots of reality shows and interviews reality stars and whatnot. Well, Kate sat down with Matt Hamilton and Harriet Ryan, and she spoke with them. Now, who is Matt and Harriet? Matt and Harriet are the journalists from the Los Angeles Times, and they were the ones who wrote the article about Tom and Erika. So if you remember on this previous episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, all the girls are shocked by this LA Times article because it details what Tom allegedly did, right? So, follow me here. Kate Casey, who hosts the podcast, had Harriet and Ryan, the journalists, on her show. So she was getting more details about what Erika and Tom really did. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So not Harriet, I'm sorry, Hamilton and Ryan. So this is what they said on the podcast. When Kate brought up the whole Tom driving off a cliff and all that, this is what the journalist had to say. First of all, I have asked the Pasadena Police Department about any car crash in its vicinity and the time frame in which it was reported, and they don't have any evidence of this crash. Now, some may say, well, maybe they didn't report it to the police. If they didn't report this to the police, why not, you would ask? Why did they not report this car crash? Because if you think about it, the way Erika described this crash was severe. He went off of a cliff. She says he broke his ankle. She also says that he had a head injury, broke his shoulder, snapped his ankle, and broke his clavicle. Now, don't you think if you at home, your significant other, you guys have a cliff in your backyard, your significant other drives off a cliff, breaks his ankle, clavicle, has a head injury, all that, you run up to the scene of the crime because Erika claims she was the one who found him. Not only that, she says he was unconscious. Now, put yourself in those shoes. Are you going to call the police? Are you going to call someone to come help? Well, there's no record of Erika or Tom calling anyone. Now, flashback to 3 years ago when Erika told that same story when Tom had an accident. None of these details were there. Why would she leave those details out? When she told Kyle that story 3 years ago, why would she leave those now details that she's saying out of the story 3 years ago? It doesn't make sense. And for those who say, oh, you're just an Erika hater, I'm not an Erika hater for those who are watching this video. Like I said in the last video, I loved her on the show. I thought she was a great addition to the show. But what she did, or what they did allegedly, was wrong. And I'm going to speak my mind on it. And we're going to speak the facts here, and we're going to report on it. Now, let's get to the money that is missing, the money that was spent, okay? Now, if you remember in the last video, I told you all that money was put into one of Erika's business accounts. Erika had a business account called EJ Global LLC. It was her business account with her name on it. Now, it was allegedly $20 million, but now it's $25 million that was put into that account. And people, are wondering, where did the money go? How was it spent? What happened? Well, we've got it detailed right here. Page 6 broke this today. All right, so the lawyers for the trustee overseeing the Girardi-Keese bankruptcy found that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stars company EJ Global spent more than $25 million on her American Express bill, assistance, her glam squad, and more, according to a legal demand letter sent to her lawyer on Thursday. The letter, which was exclusively obtained by Page 6, alleged that money was transferred from her estranged husband Tom Girardi's law firm into Jayne's company EJ Global LLC, and notes that she was the sole owner of the company. Quote, Ms. Girardi signed under penalty of perjury the return and personally approved the charges allocated to the breakdown, the letter reads. Okay, now Erika's attorney is saying that no money whatsoever went to Erika and that she never had a role in managing her husband's money. Of course, that's her story and she's going to stick to it. Her attorneys are, they're defending her. So they're going to, of course, use the same story that she's had from the get-go. I had no idea about this. I had no idea what was going on. This is where it gets interesting. The trustees' lawyers claimed that from 2008 to 2020, $14,259,000.12. Oh, I'm sorry. $14,259,084 was charged to an American Express card. Her company also spent $1,532,774.88 at the McDonald Selznick Associates Agency which is described as the first agency dedicated to represent dancers and choreographers exclusively. Now, if you remember, Erika, at the beginning of her career, when she wanted to be a singer and wanted to be Erika Jayne, she hired the best of the best choreographers and dancers. Madonna, Michael Jackson's, all these different huge artists, she hired their people. So that's where this $1.5 million is coming from, when she hired all these great dancers and great choreographers. And another $1.4 million on unknown purchases. She also gave Stephanie Shepard, if that name is familiar to you, she was formerly Kim Kardashian's executive assistant. So she also paid Stephanie Shepard $102,000. So I don't know if Erika had Stephanie Shepard assisting her or whatnot, but that's a lot of money in assistant fees. And also spent $17,000 with Opus Beauty, which is an agency that represents the best and most influential and sought out artists in the business. She spent $1,000 with Mario. If you guys know Makeup by Mario, who worked with Kim Kardashian, she spent $1,000 with him, and also spent close to $20,000 with Billboard and The Hollywood Reporter. I don't understand what that money was spent for, why she's paid over $8,000 to Billboard and The Hollywood Reporter. Now, I did hear, a little birdie told me, that the Billboard charts, and that's who they're talking about here, Billboard, you can pay to have your song chart to a certain number. You remember Erika said she's had numerous dance hits chart on the Billboard dance charts. This makes me wonder, did she pay them this money to have her songs chart? Because before Housewives, no one knew who Erika Jayne really was, but a small community of fans. Now, was her songs really charting on the Billboard dance charts before she went on Housewives? I highly doubt it, and it's very believable that she did pay Billboard, because they have the receipts here that over $8,000 was spent with them. She also appears to have paid various public relations groups high sums of money from the account, among other charges. So this is not even all of the different charges things that she spent. There's a lot more that was spent with this $25 million. And if you think about it, they said $50 to $80 million in cash is missing. And Erika said, I'd love to know where it went. Well, if you spent $25 million on choreographers, glam squads, and all this other superficial shit, I'm pretty sure it was really easy to spend $50 to $80 million on food, vacations, private jets, all this other different shit that comes along with your expensive to me lifestyle. Okay? Now, of course, like I said, her attorneys are firing back, saying that she's never had and does not have personal liability for any debts or obligations of EJ Global LLC, period. Then why was her name on it? The attorneys can say that she has no responsibility all day long, but she signed her John Hancock. When that money was transferred to her, she signed and said it was okay. Therefore, you're responsible for the funds, Erika. Sutton even said it for us in the last episode. She broke it down how LLC works. Come on now, y'all. And Erika, the last 4 or 5 seasons, your persona has been not only a singer and this temptress, but you have this persona of being this very witty, smart woman. All of a sudden, you're naive and dumb? It's not making much sense to me. Anyway, a judge ruled in July that Jayne could have to pay the victims out of her pocket as she received funds from the firm. The singer was previously accused of refusing to turn over her financial records in the case, but she was adamant in filings that she has been and remains willing to cooperate fully with the investigation. There's where more red flags come into play with me. If you remember, Erika was subpoenaed to court a few times because the courts wanted to talk to her about this money. They wanted to know, where is this money going? They wanted to talk to anybody closely associated with Tom. She was subpoenaed to court, and she found her way out of it every time by giving excuses. The first time she was subpoenaed, she gave the excuse that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had begun filming and she couldn't show up and be there, so they pushed it back. As far as the other excuses, I'm not sure what she used there, but the fact that you're not even showing up to these different court appearances says to me that you're even more guilty. You're trying to hide and you're trying to buy time to get your story together. And the fact that you're refusing to turn over your financial records, Erika, if you did nothing, if you did absolutely nothing and you were just an innocent bystander in this situation, it would be easy for you to say, you know what? I didn't do nothing. I was just there. He gave me the money. What do you need me to do? I'll show up in court. I'll do whatever I have to do to clear my name. That's what an innocent person does, Erika. It's not looking too good for you, sweetheart. I don't want to see anybody go to jail. But if you guys really did this and you knew about it, you deserve to have to spend some time in the penitentiary. Because if that was me or you at home watching, you can best believe that we would be 6 feet under right now in the jail. Okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to know, what do you think after watching this video? Do you think Erika is guilty and knew what was going on and had this money transferred? Or do you still have a little bit of hope for her innocence? I'd love to know in the comments below. Let me know and we will chat. And we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark.